running can teach every kid something, but the ones that possibly are minority students or maybe come from large families, certainly the finances become an issue. And running, being that it really only requires some shoes, really fits well with everybody. And that really opens it up for them.
You see a lot of these kids running today, it's amazing because you do see some talent. You know, if you're a person that's done it for many years, you can see talent a mile away. And some of these kids have great strides. It's a wonderful thing that they're into something that is very healthy for them and positive in their life. I had a couple of friends in high school. We weren't the greatest teens in high school, and their educational levels were really, really low. And as they entered the sport, it got them out of a lot of trouble. A lot of my friends now, you know, they have degrees. So it really has changed their life, and it's a great thing to see.
There's a lot of temptations out there for high schoolers, especially Latina girls, and I think part of the benefit of being on a team sport is for those that are longing for that belonging sensation. That's a much healthier opportunity than some of the others, such as having a boyfriend who might not share the same values as you, or belonging to a gang. I think that's sort of the obvious other team event that many teenagers may see as a way that they can belong, and so sort of redirecting it to a healthier team environment is important. And if you are not hanging out with the right people, you're much more likely to be exposed or be pressured into using drugs or alcohols or belonging to a gang. Most athletes are not involved in that. Of course, they're not immune either, but you have a greater likelihood of hanging out with people who have a different focus in their life if you're involved in a team sport as well.
You know, specifically, it doesn't have to just be running in a sport itself that can change a person. Like any sport can do that, you know, and you know, playing in a rock and roll band, doing anything that you want to do that's going to make you successful or make you feel successful is a good thing. But I've seen a lot of many changes in a lot of my friends that were headed towards the wrong path, and they joined track and field, and now they're just great, a bunch of great people. So it can do a big effect in people's lives.
I think the balance in athletics too, and just being, you know, your mind and focusing on something is good for your whole life. And really the commitment to your sport, to your team. Like, you can't let your team down. It's not just about you. And then later in life, you know, sometimes it is about you, but at least you're committed, you're good to your word, and people, I think, appreciate that. You know, when a friend doesn't show up and you've made plans, I mean, it hurts. But if you're committed and you practice that commitment, you practice that focus, practice being good to your word, I mean, that's important. That's life. I think that's the most important thing.
As a life skill, running is a metaphor for me. I think in my mind, some days you have a good run, some days you don't feel good on your run, and some days we have tough days at home, but there's always a new beginning. And for me, running and the next day is always a new beginning, a new experience, and there's always something good. Even in a situation that is negative, an argument or something that may happen, there's something good to be learned from it.
I think the first and foremost, you've got to take a chance on it. I went out for cross country because I didn't need to worry about balancing equipment or having those sorts of skills, but I just sort of took a chance. So just take a chance on something. But I also would just really stress the importance of it being a healthy thing to do. You know, even if you're intimidated to get involved in team sports, although that can be a wonderful opportunity, get out and enjoy the weather. Get out and enjoy your family. Go for a walk with your family. Start small if you have to, but having a daily activity is really important to your health. And if you don't develop those habits now, the chances of you developing them later are quite slim.
Running is actually the basic sport to every sport. It's good for the cardio, to become soccer players, basketball players, whatever they want to be, because not everybody wants to be a runner. But I really do believe that the sport itself keeps a kid disciplined. It shows them structure in life, and besides it being great for their health, it keeps them out of trouble. And kids should have fun with it. And you shouldn't have kids work out. They shouldn't do workouts. They should just have fun and run these races. And some of these kids that I saw today, it was a really awesome thing to see.
And as I tell them, it's a life skill and a lifestyle that will help you from the beginning, if you started with me here, till you take it with you wherever you go and however old you get.
Getting to realize that everything they're doing isn't a benefit anyways can sort of help redirect their energy to just looking at other things. And then once you get them looking and having a more open mind about other things, most of them recognize when you say a few words, yeah, I know exercise is good for you. You know, most people have heard of that before. But then to really talk to them about the hidden benefits of being on a team and participating in high school. Most of the time when you talk to a teenager who's sort of taken the wrong path, who's gotten into drugs or alcohol or hanging out with the wrong folks, they ended up there because they were bored. So to use more of their time for structured purposes is generally a good idea. And sports is a wonderful structured opportunity for them that opens up other doors, that allows them to have teammates, that allows them to develop that spirit of being responsible to somebody else, that allows them to get opportunities to travel and to have role models as well. Many people are who have never had any opportunities to exercise or be inspired to exercise before are unlikely to just all of a sudden join a team. So usually with them, I'll start going for walks. Most people can identify with that, especially living in Southern California. It's really easy to convince them that that's a good idea, that there's a lot to see, that there's good weather to enjoy, that there's beautiful places they can go for walks. And a lot of times it's a good family activity. So, well, maybe this is a chance for your mom to get to know you a little better. If you're having trouble communicating with your mom, invite your mom for a walk with you. And sometimes that's something they wouldn't even have thought of before, but that can just open the doors to getting healthier. And then once you get them on that path, then they're much more open to other opportunities in exercise and sports as well.